You want a tomato harvest so heavy, the vines groan under their own success. We're talking baskets of ripe fruit, neighbors quietly wondering what you're doing differently, and you still running out of counter space. Getting loads of tomatoes isn't luck. It's knowing how to play the game. From the varieties you pick to the way you support and feed them, this is how you turn an average tomato patch into a tomato factory. Most gardeners settle for good enough tomato harvests. A few ripe fruits here, a handful there, and then the plants give up halfway through summer. But if you want a season-long flood of ripe, glossy tomatoes, you'll need to grow smarter, not harder. It all comes down to three things: choosing the right varieties, supporting the vines the right way, and feeding and caring for them on their terms, not yours. Stick around, and you'll learn how to grow more tomatoes than you ever thought possible. Choosing the right type. If you want a tomato harvest that just keeps coming, it all starts with choosing the right kind of plant. Tomatoes fall into two main growth habits: determinate and indeterminate. Determinates are the short season types that grow to a set height, put out their flowers all at once, and then stop. They're great if you want to can a single, huge batch, but once they finish, they're done. If your goal is loads of tomatoes all season long, determinate plants simply can't keep up. Indeterminate tomatoes, on the other hand, are the marathon runners of the garden. They never stop growing or blooming until frost, or whatever ends your season, finally says so. They can climb 10 feet or more, and with the right support, they'll keep producing new flowers and fruit right up to the end. These are the vines that make people say, I had to start giving tomatoes away. Then there's the question of size versus quantity. If you want numbers, nothing beats cherry tomatoes. Each vine can hold hundreds, sometimes thousands, of little fruits. With good care, a mature cherry tomato plant can look more like a fruit chandelier than a vegetable. Some varieties can reach 15 feet long if you let them, yet take up only a few square feet of ground space. If you prefer brag-worthy slicer or beefsteak tomatoes, expect fewer fruits, but each one can fill your whole sandwich. They're heavyweights, literally. Many gardeners grow both types, cherries for sheer volume and beefsteaks for the wow factor. You'll also see heirloom and hybrid labels on seed packets. Heirlooms win on flavor and color variety, but hybrids are bred for disease resistance and consistency. For maximum production, hybrids usually have the edge, though mixing a few heirlooms in keeps things interesting. The bottom line? If you want constant picking and overflowing baskets, go indeterminate and lean toward prolific cherry or medium-sized hybrids. Once they hit their stride, you'll have more tomatoes than you can eat, can, or even give away. Supporting tomato vines. When you grow indeterminate tomatoes, you're dealing with vines that can stretch taller than you are and sprawl in every direction if left on their own. Support isn't optional. It's the difference between a tidy, productive tomato jungle and a tangled mess that breaks under its own weight. Most gardeners start with stakes or wire cages. Stakes are simple but can be frustrating. If you don't sink them deep enough, they tip once the plants hit full size. Wire cages work better for smaller plants, but big, indeterminate vines quickly outgrow them and collapse into a leaning tower of tomatoes. The next level up, and the one that turns good into great, is trellising. A trellis gives your plants vertical freedom and keeps fruit off the ground where pests and rot like to hang out. But not all trellises are created equal. For the ultimate tomato setup, build or buy a tunnel-style trellis over a tall, raised bed. Here's why this combination works so well. The raised bed anchors the entire structure. The extra soil depth keeps the base steady, even under the weight of mature vines loaded with fruit. The tunnel shape lets you train the vines not just up, but also across the top, forming a green ceiling dripping with tomatoes. You can even grow shade-tolerant veggies underneath. It's like creating a two-story garden. If you want a ready-made system that bolts right into your garden, the Vego garden trellis system is built for exactly this. The arched version connects two Vego beds to form a tunnel, while the single-bed trellis gives you the same strength in a compact footprint. Both are engineered to attach directly to the bed's rim, so there's no wobble or tipping once the plants get heavy. Links in the description if you want to see what it looks like. With a proper trellis setup, your tomato patch transforms from a chaotic sprawl into an organized production line. The fruit ripens evenly in the open air, harvesting is easier on your back, and the plants stay healthier thanks to improved airflow. Support them right, and you'll turn a handful of vines into a tomato canopy that never quits. Soil and fertilization tomatoes can survive in average dirt. But if you want them to thrive and pump out fruit like they're on a mission, you need soil that's deep, rich, and well-drained. Think of it as the foundation for the whole operation. Start with a blend of compost and a quality raised bed mix. Regular potting soil may sound fine, but when used in large amounts, it often stays soggy and heavy. Raised bed mixes are designed to drain well while still holding enough moisture to keep roots happy. Work plenty of compost into the bed before planting. It builds structure and gives the soil that earthy springiness tomatoes love. Then add a slow, steady food source. You can go organic, synthetic, or a mix of both. What matters most is consistency. On the organic side, compost, soil worm castings, and fish-based fertilizers release nutrients gradually and improve soil life with every application. Synthetic slow-release or water-soluble fertilizers offer precision and convenience, especially if you're short on time. Either way, skip the feast and famine feeding schedule. Tomatoes prefer small, regular meals over big dumps of nutrients. Don't forget calcium. It's one of the keys to preventing blossom end rot, those ugly black spots that show up on the bottom of fruit. You can toss a crushed antacid tablet like Tums into each planting hole if you're growing just a few plants. But for larger gardens, mixing bone meal into your fertilizer blend is a smarter move. It adds calcium and phosphorus naturally and keeps the plants strong from the inside out. As the vines grow, give them a light boost every couple of weeks. Look for deep green foliage, sturdy stems, and steady flower production. If you notice leaf curl or pale growth, it's a sign they're hungry. Feed, water, and watch them respond within days. Building rich, well-balanced soil isn't glamorous, but it's what turns a patch of plants into a wall of fruit. Keep the nutrients flowing, keep the soil alive, and your tomatoes will reward you with a season-long parade of color and flavor. Watering wisely. When it comes to watering tomatoes, consistency beats everything. These plants love deep moisture, but they hate the roller coaster of flooding one day and drought the next. Uneven watering leads to split fruit, blossom end rot, and stressed vines that slow production. Instead of a quick splash every evening, water deeply and less often. You want moisture to soak 8 to 10 inches down, encouraging roots to grow deep where the soil stays cooler and more stable. Then wait until the top inch of soil starts to dry before watering again. If you're in a climate with irregular rain or forgetful days, let's be honest, we all have them, set up a simple drip system or a hose timer. It delivers steady moisture right to the roots without wasting water on the leaves, which helps prevent fungal problems. Morning watering is best. It gives leaves time to dry through the day and reduces the risk of mildew overnight. Keep the soil evenly damp but never soggy, and your plants will respond with strong stems, vibrant foliage, and fruit that fills out beautifully. Think of water as the steady heartbeat of your tomato patch, rhythmic, reliable, and absolutely essential. Pruning for maximum yield. Pruning is where many gardeners hesitate, afraid to take too much off. But with indeterminate tomatoes, trimming the right way keeps the plants productive and the fruit healthy. The goal isn't to make them look bare. It's to channel their energy into fruit instead of excess leaves. Start by removing the suckers, those little shoots that sprout where each branch meets the main stem. If left alone, each sucker will grow into another full vine, turning your plant into a tangled forest. Pinch or snip them off while they're small. You'll instantly improve airflow and light penetration. 2 keys to preventing disease and ripening fruit evenly. So keep the lower leaves pruned up about a foot from the soil line once the plants start producing. That reduces splash up from rain or watering and helps stop soil-borne diseases. Don't overdo it though. Leaves are still the plant's solar panels. Removing too many slows growth and reduces sugar production in the fruit. Prune confidently, but with balance. A tidy, open plant with sturdy stems and plenty of light reaching every cluster is the sweet spot and the secret to a tomato jungle that stays healthy, productive, and easy to harvest. Pest control and protection. Nothing ruins a tomato gardener's day faster than discovering a hornworm has mowed through half a plant overnight. If you want loads of tomatoes, you'll have to share as few as possible with bugs, birds, and other freeloaders. That means learning how to keep them out and acting fast when they show up. Start by watching for the usual suspects: tomato hornworms, aphids, whiteflies, and stink bugs. Hornworms are huge, green, and surprisingly good at hiding. The easiest control method? Hand picking. Go out in early morning or evening when they're active, and you'll spot their droppings on leaves before you see them. Aphids and whiteflies are smaller but easier to handle. Knock them off with a strong water spray, or use insecticidal soap or neem oil if they return. For a longer-term solution, invite beneficial insects into your garden. Ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps make short work of sap-sucking pests. Planting nectar flowers nearby gives them a reason to stick around. If you're dealing with stink bugs or leaf-footed bugs, it's a bit tougher. These shield-shaped pests pierce fruit and cause hard white spots under the skin. Catch them early or use row covers to exclude them before fruit sets. Once they move in, shake them into a bucket of soapy water. They're slow but sneaky. Birds and squirrels can also be thieves. Lightweight netting or mesh cages around the bed stop most of that nonsense. Just make sure the netting is tight and doesn't trap pollinators. When infestations get heavy, even experienced gardeners sometimes reach for chemical controls, but do it sparingly and only as a last resort. Always follow label directions, and remember, even safe sprays can harm bees if used carelessly. Most of the time, prevention wins the battle. Keep plants pruned for airflow, water at the base, and inspect your vines regularly. A few minutes of scouting each week can save entire clusters of fruit. Because there's nothing more heartbreaking than discovering your wall of tomatoes turned into an all-you-can-eat buffet for hornworms. Stay alert, stay balanced, and your harvest will belong to you, not the bugs. If you follow these steps, you won't just grow a few nice tomatoes. You'll grow loads of them. Plants so full they bend with the weight. Vines that keep climbing, and baskets that overflow long before the season ends. With the right variety, a strong trellis, rich soil, steady watering, and a watchful eye for pests, your garden can turn into a tomato factory that keeps on giving. And the best part? You'll know exactly how you did it. No gimmicks, no guesswork, just solid growing know-how. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Ground Truth Gardening for more real-world advice that cuts through the fluff and gets straight to what actually works. Grow smarter, grow stronger, and as always, stay grounded.